Hello everybody. So, at the time this video comes out, it should be September 26th. On that day, 30 years ago, Akumanju Dracula, or Demon Castle Dracula, was released on the Famicom Disk System, which would then be what we know as Castlevania. So the franchise will be 30 years old then, and for that I wanted to play what is probably regarded as one of the best games in the series. Definitely, in my opinion, is one of the best of the classic style Castlevania games. So yeah, Castlevania 4 is technically a remake of the original Castlevania. The Japanese name there is still Demon Castle Dracula, rather than a sequel. So yeah, it's a little confusing with the American version. They make it almost sound like it's a sequel to Castlevania 2, because if you recall, you had Castlevania 2 is the sequel, Castlevania 3 was a prequel, and then Castlevania 4. Because once again, you're playing as Simon Belmont in this game, but like I said, this is... well, I'm not sure I would call it a remake of Castlevania 1, more of a retelling of it, since it's not the same game by any means. They have retold that Simon's first battle with Dracula quite a few times, though. Because they also... Haunted Castle was another retelling of it, as was Chronicles for the Sharp 68K that was later ported to the PlayStation. Okay, that's just a demo. Let's see. I like in this game, one neat thing is that there's a different... Your sub-weapons can be mapped to a different button. In most of the games, it's like up and your attack button. Here you can map it to a completely separate button, which makes it a lot easier to use, and that's one thing that makes this game probably one of the best of the original Castlevanias, is how well the controls are. You can, Simon has much better control, can whip in any direction. You have a little bit more control over jumps as well. And you know what? Considering that this game came out still in the early days of the Super NES, it looks and sounds fantastic. Oh yeah, you can also do this where you hold the attack button and you can hold the whip out in front of you and kind of twirl it around. It can be very useful for blocking some projectiles. They're across there. And as usual, that's usually a weapon we want to hold on to for as long as possible. That was the invincibility potion there. Makes you invincible for like, aw, shit! That dagger is just there to punish you. One thing I definitely like about some of the later games is how they let you, like, if you pick up a weapon and you didn't want it, they'd let... Jesus! That did not look like it should have hit me. Here's another interesting thing this game has is, some of those... that you can swing on those. Indiana Jones style. Okay, there's the invincibility potion. Unfortunately, it doesn't last very long. Okay, there's... Holy water's still a really good weapon in this. Still at that point in the series where holy water is almost game-breaking until they nerf it in some of the later games. Got horse heads coming at us. Konami, with some of their little gag names that they give enemies in their manuals a lot of the time, they actually name him Mr. Head. There's a stopwatch. Oh god, we got Medusa heads already. Stairs still make me nervous sometimes. He doesn't want to climb down them and decides to drop down instead, and then you die instead. Okay, anyways, here we are at the boss. Got this skeleton knight and horse. Really damn easy, though. Alright, takes care of stage 1. Start with grabby hands coming out of the ground. Whatever these weird-looking leaf monsters are. Somewhat annoying little armadillo guys. Still have to power up your sub-weapons in this game. Like that here. Collecting... You jerk! Collecting those double and triple shots, letting you fire more of them at a time. As usual, though, you lose all of them when you, if you pick up a new sub-weapon. Another way the game punishes you for accidentally picking up another weapon. That crud down there, you actually don't die if you fall in. It's actually like mud or something. But then you got these freaking toads, which are a pain in the ass to deal with. I think I actually do want to pick up the cross again. As usual in these earlier games, the cross or the holy water, the ones you want to pick up. We are at our boss, Medusa. She's a freaking joke if you have the cross. But oddly enough, they don't put the boss at the end of the level, but rather like the midpoint of the level. And not even as a mini boss either, since there is no like end boss. Instead, what we got here is this moving water that changes direction every so often. Becomes a problem. As you can see, we're adding spikes to the mix. Is it going to... Okay. Up, there it goes. Yeah, I didn't want to try to jump the spikes when the water was going against me. Okay, so stage 2 ends abruptly there. And on to stage 3. Got these rock men that split apart when you hit them. But they still move pretty slowly, so they're not a real big threat. Easy to find goodie room. Some more meat. We didn't actually need any that time. I want to hold on to the cross for as long as I can. Some falling stalactites there. Forgot they break apart like that when they hit the ground. It can still hurt you. Vertical climbing portion. And the platform starts to get a little tricky here. Turn around. There we go. think off to the left is a few extra items, but we actually need to head up here to continue on. This stage I always consider to be a first noticeable difficulty spike. Collapsing platforms. We're kind of running out of footholds here. We have, oh yeah, these white dragons. Always a fun little staple of the series. Hit stun them like that. That was up. Nice try, game. Not this time. Okay, here's the tricky part, because we don't have a lot of footholds. We got these mermen spitting at us. Can somewhat easily knock us off. As usual, Simon forgot his life jacket again. You dick. Okay, so far so good. Up, we got another climbing section though. Oh, wow! You dick. With the axe, this might help in this section. Yeah, I think I might have overestimated maybe how much headroom I had there at that jump. Damn birds. Get out of here. Oh, you freaking birds. What Castlevania would be complete without them? Yeah, Simon can moonwalk on the stairs. Always a fun little thing. Okay, this should be the boss. Yep. We got this two-headed dragon here. Kind of a similar boss was in Castlevania 3. Not too difficult, though. So long as you know to keep your distance. So I think I'll cut it off here. And we'll check out Stage 4 next time. See you guys later.
I'm playing a game.